Hello, welcome to All My Football View. So Manchester United is gonna have their first match on Sunday against Brighton, and today what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be predicted that's the first 11 that I thought is gonna that that I thought Ten Hag is gonna go for against Brighton. From this squad, I review it and I based on the preseason from the first match to the last match against Rayo Vallecano. I predict this squad because I think it's gonna be the best that will go that we should put against Brighton. So the preseason ends on Sunday. Sorry, the preseason ends on Sunday, and we draw 1-1 against Rayo Vallecano. We still need more signing to the club. So far, we only made 3 signings: Martinez, Ericsson, and Malaysia. So for me, that's not enough. Given that we end sixth last season, the club right now is the squad. If you look at the squad is so thin. The squad is so thin. We don't have any backup for especially right back. We don't have any backup. We can see example of that against Rayo Vallecano. I mean, against Atletico Madrid, we play Anthony Elanga, which for me, I don't think is ready for the first team. I don't think it's ready to be part of the first team because the every time he got the ball, it looked like he's gonna fall every time. You look at the guy, especially when you look at the gym work, the picture of Jim they'll be posting at the beginning of the season. You would thought this guy will be strong enough to hold the ball. Yes, he can run with the ball. Uh, I think yes, he's good at running with the ball. However, when he's competing with the opponent with the other players, he usually fall. So that for me indicate that we cannot depend on Anthony Elanga. So I'm not sure what is going on with Frankie De Jong. I think we spend a lot of time on Frankie De Jong. That almost 3 months now. We've been over 3 months actually. We've been on that transfer. So I think that's a very bad approach from the club. Although I there's a news about saying about the Eric saying Eric Tang is the one who actually insists on going for Frankie De Jong. If that's true, then that for me that's Eric Tang fault because that much time we spend trying to get the transfer done, the player himself has not really shown the urge to come to the club. So for me, in our situation right now, the current situation the club is in right now, we don't need player. I don't think we need player that does not want to play for the club. You might have other suggestions. Maybe other might say, "Oh, Barcelona owe him some certain money. That's he doesn't want to say some certain thing. That's why he doesn't want to come." So they might defer the wages and not pay him what is being owed. I understand that, but so far over 3 months, Frankie De Jong has not shown any indication that he wants to join Manchester United. So for me, we should have our alternative. By now, we have at least 2 to 3 weeks before the transfer window close. So we should be going for the alternative now because at this point in transfer window, if we're not going for the alternative and we're still waiting for Frankie De Jong, God knows what's going to happen. So I think that's a very bad approach from the club. Even if that include Ten Hag's improvement, I think that's a very bad approach. Also, there's been a link from the to Frank to RB Salzburg striker Sesko, and there's been link with Antonio from Ajax. So I don't think Antonio deal is gonna go through because 80 million euro or 100 million euro for a guy that has not really proved a lot in the division Eredivisie. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. I don't think it really it worth the money. 100 million. I think it's a joke itself. So I think the club is not really doing much in terms of that as well, because if that is the case, there should be another approach. There should be try to look for alternative for in case Antonio didn't went through. There hasn't been any news of that. It's just consistently looking us with the same guy and over again. We so far for me overall our transfer window has been really bad. If I'm to give it rating from 1 to 10, I'm going to go for 3, because look at the season last season. Look at the type of season we had. Probably the worst season we've had so far in 40 years post Saleh, even for post Saleh Ferguson. Over 10 years we've had a lot of bad seasons, but that last season was the worst we ever had. So for me, and the fact that we got a new manager that just come in, he has a good mentality, he has a winning mentality, he has a good approach and a very clear playing pattern that he followed. So for me, that should indicate to the board, especially the director of football, and which is I think Arnold and John Motto, to really do well in transfer window in the transfer. But they haven't done that. They've only got 3 players. We've lost almost 5 first team, and more are still gonna leave. So, and to think that only 3 players just come in so far, I think it's very, very poor. It's ridiculous in my opinion. And hopefully going forward we can get something better. I'm not sure how that's gonna change going forward, but I think it's gonna depend on the fans, because for me I'm not living in England, and I've been Manchester United for a while, so it really pissed me off every time I had that type of news about Manchester United, about Glazer's family, about how the club is being run. So I've been Manchester United when we won the Champions League, when we won the 3 consecutive league. So, and for me, I don't think I will ever support any club that will give me that feelings as except for Manchester United. So let's see how things change going forward. But I'm optimistic about this manager. I really hope it give me that hope that things is gonna go better, do better. We're gonna do better as we move forward, because if you look at the type of the pattern of play we're playing so far in this preseason, has show sign that things is gonna change. The player I'll be disciplined, because for me I thought what we lack most in this past 10 years post Saleh Ferguson is discipline. Our player don't have discipline. Sometimes when they play on the field, I question their professionalism. Like what I always ask, what do they do in training? Because these people, especially when you look at Scott McTominay this past 2 seasons, and Fred and some of these players, they could barely hold the ball. They could barely do 1-2 pass, and every time every time they're under pressure, they always lose the ball. Especially against teams like Liverpool and Manchester City, when they play a team that press high, they always lose the ball and they always defend. So for me, I think that was gonna change, and we've already seen sign of that this preseason. So although we cannot depend on preseason much, but for me, it's the consistency of the type of football we're playing. Because if we look under Oleg Sogdia, we when we play, sometimes we play high pressing football, but the next match you will expect the same type of pattern, the same type of playing pattern, but it's not gonna happen. It might take another 3 to 15 match before you see them playing high pressing football again. It only happened like once in a while. So for me, this preseason has showed that we can be optimistic about what is gonna come next in this team. You can see the join together. You can see the training, the drill, the doing, the passing, which is kind of similar to what happening. I just under Eric Ten Hag. So for me, I really hope things get better, and I think I've seen the sign so far. So not forget, I'm going to be doing my first 11 prediction for the match against Brighton. So this will be and this is the team I predicted that is gonna play against Brighton. So starting from the goalkeeper, David De Gea. I think it's gonna be David De Gea at the goalkeeper. I don't think it's gonna be 18. I'm sorry if I pronounce the name wrong. So I think it's gonna be David De Gea, and the two fullback will be Malaysia and Dalot. So also the two central back is gonna be, for me, I'm going for Martinez, but because although he only had one match so far, but I think it's gonna be Martinez because based on what Eric Ten Hag said, he said he need a left central back. So and when you see Martinez play against Rayo Vallecano, for me it looks sharp. It can control the ball. It know the right pass to pull. So you might say something about his fitness level, and I don't think that's gonna be an issue. So that's why I'm going for Martinez. And also partner with him is Harry Maguire. So far this preseason, by the way, I think Harry Maguire has shown he can improve and he can do what the manager wants. So he also depend on him how he improve more going forward. So, but this preseason he barely make any mistake. Maybe against Melbourne, where he couldn't really get to the ball to clear it out. That leads to their first goal. However, after that, I don't think he's made a lot of mistakes. Barely make any mistake, by the way. So I'm going for Harry Maguire, and you can see his passing distribution. I really love it. His distribution. You might say anything you want against Harry Maguire, but really he has impressed me in this preseason. So I'm going for him at the second central back. Also, in the middle, I'm going for Fred. Definitely Fred here. I think Fred has really impressed this preseason all through, like I said in the previous video. So Fred for me has impressed, and also if you look at Fred in this preseason, always marking, always pressing, always running around. You could see him everywhere on the field. So for me, it's gonna be Fred, and I'm going for McTominay. And the reason is because McTominay, I thought he's gonna be doing it is exactly maybe the manager advises the manager instruction is different, but it's when I spoke to people on social media and some of my friends that support Manchester United as well, what he told me is McTominay's job is to get the ball from the back and give it and move it forward. Same thing as the reason why Eric Ten Hag want to sign Frankie De Jong, to get the ball from the back and get it to the forward and get it to the front. So that's what I was expecting from McTominay. However, though he hasn't done that, he didn't do that much. But going forward, I think especially it link up more with Sancho. With Sancho, it really link up with Sancho. For some reason, it's really linking up well with Sancho. So that's why I'm going to go for him. I think it's going to be Bruno that will start. Though Bruno hasn't really done much in this preseason, but he hasn't really done bad as well. So I think it's going to be Bruno. I should have go for Eriksen here, but Eriksen has only had 2 to 3 preseason. I don't think, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Eric Ten Hag is going to go for Eriksen instead of McTominay, but I'm going for McTominay here and Bruno as well. So it's going to be three midfielder here, and The trade forward is going to be Rashford. I think Rashford has been brilliant. The first match against Liverpool, he don't really do much. You can see he's still getting fitness level up. But after that, I think Rashford has been brilliant for me. Yeah, it missed some goal, and I hope it could pass more when he dribble past players and see chances, space. It could I hope it could pass. Same and again the striker will be Martial. Definitely Martial because Cristiano Ronaldo only got one preseason and barely had 45 minutes. So I don't think Gary Chang is gonna put him there to start. So it's not gonna happen. Given Eric Ten philosophy and how discipline is and how ready he wants his players to be. So I think it's gonna be Martial here, and on the right side is gonna be Sancho. Definitely Sancho. Sancho and Fred has been standout, including Martial has been the three standout for me in this preseason. So I think three of them is gonna start for sure. So let me know what you think about the first 11. Let me know if you think we're gonna sign Frankie De Jong. Let me know if you think we're still gonna get either Sesko or Antonio. Because for me, I would prefer Sesko than Antonio. We need a backup striker. Even if we're gonna get Antonio, I still think that we should get another striker. Because if you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, is 37. It will be 38 next year. So I think it's best we sign a striker now because we don't know in this transfer market. We don't know what can happen when we can get him for cheap now, maybe 35 million or 40 million. Maybe we can get him now because maybe next season or next transfer is gonna be around 90 or 80 million, which I'm not. If you look at the way transfer goes these days, you can testify that I'm not lying. It could go up to 80 million, and we have to pay maybe double of the price we were supposed to get him for. Same thing that happened to in case of Haaland. So we could have got him for around 35 million. We didn't even get him at all because he went to City, which is a very bad news for us. So yeah, so this is my first 11 prediction for against Brighton. That will happen. That will take place at Old Trafford on Sunday. So I'm not gonna be there, but I'm gonna be doing watch line. So this is all my football view. And please, if you're new on this channel, please subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what you think about the transfer window so far. So I think that will be all, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.